Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SPOTIFY. That's code SPOTIFY to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
I walk up to this deer, and as soon as I put hands on him, my feet slip out from under me, and he's coming down. And we're like down this mountainside, and we go 300 yards really fast to the bottom. So.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to the Hunting Stories Podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and we have another great episode for you today. Today, we're actually connecting with Diondre Johnson and Daniel Christensen. Met Diondre because I am now an affiliate with Kill Shot Coffee. If you're interested in some coffee, check out the show notes. Support the show by clicking on the link. And, if you need some coffee, buy some coffee. But we met in the private Facebook group, and he said, man, I got a story I want to share. I'm going to bring my hunting buddy with me. You will not be disappointed. And, of course, it was amazing. So I want to say thank you real quick to Diondre. I want to say thank you to Daniel. I want to say to you listeners, thank you guys for tuning in. I don't want to steal any of their thunder. I've done this recording like 3 times trying to get this intro. I'm just going to leave it at that, man. Enjoy. I hope you guys enjoy hearing these stories as much as I did. Thank you guys. And now we'll let the boys tell you their stories. All right, fellas. Welcome to the Hunting Stories Podcast. How you both doing?
Thanks. Good. Awesome to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you guys. It's been a long time since I've had a podcast with 2 people on it. I was telling you guys before we started recording that I love them because you guys can call bullshit on each other, which I think is a really important part to telling hunting stories. It's funny. People tell some pretty crazy stories, and I'm like, I want to hear the other person in the story's view of what you just told me, because there's no way that's true.
For sure.
And today, we have the benefit of you both being here, because I hear you guys have a pretty fun story for us. So let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Let's start by introducing yourselves. Diondre, you go first because you organize this, and Daniel, you're second fiddle for now until you put Diondre in his place. So
sounds good.
Cool. Yeah. So Diondre Johnson, born and raised in Pine Top, Lakeside, Arizona. If you know where that is, you know that's probably some of the best elk hunting in the country. So I was very fortunate, growing up there and being able to experience that world as it is. But it's also kind of a downfall moving around, being like, trophy class bulls all the time to, I can't find them all the time anymore. So
poor guy. Fun. Poor you, Diondre.
I know. But yeah, I served 4 years active in the Army, and I'm still in the National Guard. I was a sniper team leader. And
cool.
I don't know, it's been a big part of my life so far. I learned a lot of lessons from it, and it's awesome.
I got to connect you with my buddy. He was a sniper. He's a fair amount older than you, and he's no longer in the services, but he was a sniper as well.
Awesome.
So I'll connect you with him because he's a badass hunter and an awesome guy. Haven't had him on the podcast yet, but he's like my emergency when am like, oh shoot, I got an episode to come out in a day. Get over here, Jason. But I'll introduce you. But that's neither here nor there. But Daniel, your turn, brother.
Yeah, Daniel Christensen. I grew up when I was young in Westminster, Colorado.
No shit.
Moved to southern Nebraska when I was 12. Grew up on a ranch out there after that. Just been hunting all my life, mostly deer in Nebraska. By the time I was old enough to hunt big game, we pretty much moved. I had a couple years of youth hunting in Colorado, killed a couple cow elk in there, but now I'm living in northern Wyoming and back in the mountains from flatland Nebraska and loving it.
That's awesome. And so how do you guys know each other? Let's start there, because I'm not piecing it together as of yet.
Yeah,
That's a funny story in its own.
Okay.
My fiance thought I was crazy.
So when I got out of the Army, I went back home to Arizona, and I already had plans. I was going to move to Wyoming. There's no other decision I was going to make besides Wyoming. So I found a hunting group on Facebook, and I posted, "Hey, moving to Laramie. Looking for, someone like-minded, likes the hunting, backcountry hunts is what I like to do with archery. If this is what you like, shoot me a message." And then along came Daniel.
Yeah,
okay.
my fiance and I, girlfriend at the time, but we decided we wanted to move back to somewhere with mountains. She grew up in Anchorage, Alaska. Nebraska was a big change, and we both missed being in the mountains. So we decided to move to Laramie, and I messaged Diondre on Facebook, and then one day just told him, "Hey, here's my address. If you're in town, swing by, have dinner." And I didn't tell her till like 30 minutes before, so she was freaking out.
Okay.
Some random guy on Facebook showed up. I know when we met, we both had some doubts. Both had our concealeds with us, and it was a little sigh of relief when we met and realized that.
To be fair, you did live in a sketchy trailer park.
Yeah, I live in a sketchy trailer park in Laramie.
Okay.
So it was.
All right.
It was special.
There
it was an interesting
meeting. At least it wasn't
sure.
Bumble, but all right, cool. No, that's interesting. That's awesome. Okay, so then did you guys just immediately just kick like besties or get out into the woods or?
As soon as
once he moved up, we started fly fishing, hiking, shed hunting, and we started doing some backcountry trips, and it was a great friendship after that. And I'm up in Sheridan.
That's awesome.
Now, and he's moving to Pinedale, so we'll be a little apart, but we still get a few trips every year.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, great to meet you guys. Thank you guys for reaching out and saying, "Hey, I want to share some stories." So let's jump into it, right? Like we're here to hear some crazy hunting stories. So I know that you have some other ones, and you have a float trip one that's really like the big one.
Yeah.
You guys start wherever you want. You can kick it off with that one, or you can start with your individual hunts.
Let's start with that one. I know we drew leftover whitetail bonus tags up here for the northern part of Wyoming, and it's a unit that I had spent some time hunting in 24.
Okay.
I knew that there was a good number of deer, but there was a lot of landlocked BLM that you could access from the river. We didn't realize how shallow the river was, so it turned out to be a disaster. But so I convinced him to apply for that leftover tag, and when he drew it, we made a plan, and he got up here. We started unloading, getting things ready, getting some maps drawn out, figuring out how far we wanted to try and float. We found a really big piece of BLM off the river. Yeah.
Okay. Who owned the boat? Let me ask that. Let's pause for a second. I think Diondre needs to catch a breath. Who owned the boat? Who owned the float?
All right. So Daniel has a canoe.
I have a canoe.
Okay. It's a traditional old Coleman, old-fashioned canoe, right? We got
just aluminum
kayak paddles. We're all ready to go do this thing. We're like, oh, you know what? We can float any river in a canoe. At least that's what we thought.
Okay.
I asked Daniel, I'm like, hey, like how I'm on a call with them before I'm getting my family ready to go up there, spend time with him for this trip. It's like the week before, and I'm like, hey man, like what's the plan? Like I know we're floating this river, but like what is the plan? And he's like, yeah, so we're gonna float upstream. Well, I don't know if he knows how rivers work, but that means we're paddling, right?
Yeah.
Oh, when I first looked at it, the river was really slow, and we got some rain past that.
That's not floating. That is not floating. That's not a float trip. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, Daniel. I'll let you continue.
And so when I looked at it in September, I had actually went out there looking for mule deer. And it was slow, it was shallow. I was able to float a mile upstream by myself, so I wasn't worried. Like two of us, no problem. We can get 4 miles. But we got a ton of rain. We got some snow on the mountain. The river was blown up way deeper, way faster. And we unloaded right at daylight. and we made it about half a mile in an hour, and we were just busted.
Crushed.
I was up front, Daniel's in the back, and we're just like, I've done some hard things in my life. I've carried crazy amounts of weights. I've carried long distances. I climbed the Andes in Chile on skis with 80-pound pack. That was one of the hardest things I've ever done, is try to float up this river. We were supposed to go 6 miles.
Yeah. And the whole reason we wanted to go up was there's a boulder field above where we wanted to hunt. And at the time when I looked at the river, it was too shallow to pass that. So that was the original plan. So after our defeat there, we decided the river's deep enough, we can probably make it through the boulder field. So we drove 12 miles up the road to where the river touched another piece of public, and we unloaded the canoe, and we carried it in to the river.
We dropped
mile. It in.
Quarter mile.
Yeah, we carried it, dropped it in, and
how much floating. Gear did you have on top of the canoe, right? So like that's a substantial. You're talking a substantial walk, half a mile with a canoe, probably 80-pound canoe, plus all your hunting gear.
Yeah, so we both have, we both brought our
like 150 pounds.
Yeah, so we both brought our rifles. We both had our exo packs, loaded up for 2 nights we were trying to stay down?
Yeah, we were planning on 2 nights.
And then
40 pounds of gear each.
Yeah. It was I mean, we had it loaded pretty good. Like if we were going on the backcountry hunt, it was probably like 30, 40 pounds, and then the canoe on top of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So anyway,
it wasn't light.
So we get to the river, and the boat. We get the canoe in the water. And we're like, all right, let's do this thing. We load up, get in the canoe, and we start floating, and we immediately see deer. We see deer as soon as we get off the public. We see deer. Boom, on our right side, on our left side. We're just floating, we're just floating, having a great time. It's like if we had country song or country JBL playing, and then we had beers in our hands. It'd look like a couple rednecks floating down the river.
Yeah.
And deer were everywhere. Hopes were high. They were letting us float within 30 yards of them. So we were thinking slam dunk already.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay.
Awesome.
So were they decent deer, or were they all just like
a couple of them? Most of them were pretty small, or does, but there were a couple better bucks.
So I would say, how far was that float, Daniel?
The first stretch was probably 3 or 4 miles, and that was that was relaxed, going trying to get to the first stretch of public that we were going to check on.
Very relaxed. Occasionally, we did hit some sandbars, and we should have recognized that for what it was. But we just said, oh, you know what? It's fine. It's a river. It has sandbars every now and then. We just kept going. So we finally reach this final bend, and we start entering this state piece of land. And we go underneath this wire, or like the barbed wire that separates
electric fence around them over the river.
Yep. And then I hop out, anchor the boat, and then we get on I guess it would be like the east side of the
east
bank.
side. Yep.
And we get up to a little high point. We start glassing, on both sides, because it's state on both sides of the river. So we're glassing. How long did it take us to spot the first buck, Daniel?
30 minutes.
30 minutes? Yeah, it was pretty quick. It's a small little guy.
Quirky little buck.
I have him right here. He's
okay.
He's a little wonky.
Spoiler alert.
So anyways, I haven't shot a whitetail before. I've shot a couple does, but I've never shot a buck. So Daniel's like, yeah, this is yours. I'm like, cool, sweet, first buck.
First whitetail buck.
I think it was like a 200-yard shot, chip shot, shot him.
Yeah.
Watched him die pretty much right where I shot him, and it was just cool celebration.
Yeah, so 10 yards across the river, easy way to get.
Mm-hmm. So we get back in the boat, cross the river, celebrate, take some pictures, all that fun stuff. And as we're sitting there, we can see deer like off the public and like everywhere. Just bucks rutting like crazy. It was mid-November, so all these whitetails are just rutting like crazy. You got does running all over the place. It's just
what's
it's
the
a rut
temperature
fest.
like? Like for some reason in my mind, it was summertime, nice and warm, boating. Because like I've done the Texas floating stuff.
Okay.
I just realized. Okay, November, Wyoming. What is the temperature like as you guys are doing this thing?
Unusually warm.
Yeah,
we
that
were
was a
like
warm
50
day.
degrees.
What was that?
It was like 50 degrees.
Okay.
And 45.
Not toasty, but plenty warm for November in Wyoming.
Well, yeah, last 2024, that time of year, we were 0 degrees and a foot of snow.
Okay.
So it was a complete 180 from the previous year.
Okay. All right. So many of the best hunting stories don't end at the shot. They start with the pack out. And that's the part that nobody sees. Heavy loads, long miles, bad angles, and it's usually when you're already smoked. That's why being ready for it matters. And GoRuck, well, they build packs designed for training under real weight. They're made for rucking, loading up and putting in miles, and preparing your body for the hardest part of the hunt before the season even starts. If you train for the pack out, you're not surprised by it. GoRuck helps you stay hunt ready long before you ever punch a tag. If you want to check out their packs and support the show, hit the link in the show notes because the story's better when you make it back to camp. Hey hunters, have you ever had one of those stories, the ones that you didn't want to tell, the ones that end in failure? Yeah, I've been there. Actually, you know what? The culprit for me usually is bad optics, or worse, lack of using my optics at all. Picture this. I spot a trophy buck, or an antelope, or an elk, whatever it may be. My heart is racing, but the blurry view, or I just can't quite identify exactly what I'm looking at, it has me second guessing. Well, that's where Vortex Optics comes in. With crystal clear glass and rugged durability, Vortex gives you the confidence to take the shot. Don't let poor optics ruin your story. Make every moment count. Upgrade to Vortex and turn your hunting tales into triumphs. Visit vortexoptics.com today.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
So we start quartering up this deer because we're like, how's the best way to package this? So we have to make sure that the skin, we're thinking, all right, so we're going to get water in the canoe, so we need to skin the bucks out so we can wrap the meat up in the skin, but still have enough airflow or whatever. We were trying to figure out, we didn't think this part through enough, but in the moment, we figured it out. We figured out a good little thing. So we skin it out.
Keep meat clean.
Skin it out, start quartering, get the back strap and whatever meat we can get off of it. And as soon as we bag up that last quarter, Daniel goes, hey, bucks. So we all I get down in the grass. I'm laying there. I got meat just in my arms laying down on the ground.
Just cradling your quarters.
I just see just two sets of just pretty average 8 points coming just through the grass right at us. And by the time I saw them, they were 40 yards away. And we were on the fence line, and they were coming. They were going to jump that fence and be on us. And so he lays down, just quarter on his chest, and I crawl to my rifle, and I'm sitting leaned up against the fence post, pack on the post, watching this buck. And here he jumps the fence. First one comes over 7 yards. 7 yards, I dump him right there. So this is an hour after the first one. We just packaged the quarter and drops. The other one.
Meanwhile, Diondre is still cuddling his hind quarter from the last
cuddling
year.
his hind quarter. And, the other one just runs 20 yards and then loops behind this big fallen tree. And he looks like he's going to jump back over, and we're right in the same spot.
So he actually kind of did this loop. So he went 20 yards back onto the private and was just kind of confused, hey, where'd my buddy go? And then he tried to come down below us towards the river first. And Daniel, I had 2 tags. So I had a general tag, which was good for the whitetail in that unit. And I also had the whitetail tag that I drew. So I was like, man, I can get another buck right now. So I put the quarter down and I start crawling towards my rifle. And this buck's like about to jump over on the riverside of the public, and I'm like, oh man, I'm facing the wrong way. So I go to turn, and he kind of jumps and goes back towards where he came from. I'm like, oh well, that was cool. I could have had 2 bucks or whatever. Then he starts coming back. We're like, what is going on? So he keeps coming, and I'm just like watching him. I load around, and I'm just like, okay, like this is either like the most insane hunts I've ever been on, or it's not going to happen. It's one of the two. Sure enough, he jumps the fence, and right where he jumped the fence is where this huge, giant, like cottonwood tree was falling. So I had to run up to this cotton tree. Me and Daniel sprinted up to this cotton tree. I just plopped my rifle on, and he was still just chilling, kind of bobbing his head, like they do. And then I dumped him. Right, it was like a 50-yard shot. I dialed for 200.
It wasn't even that. It was 20 at most.
It was.
You guys, it's funny. Like if this is archery, these ranges are all fine, but you guys are shooting with rifles,
which is so fun because we're like I would say both of us prefer archery hunting. Like, I like shooting my rifle long range, but archery hunting is a crazy challenge, and it's just so much fun. But we're all thinking like, oh, we're gonna have to shoot these bucks. Like before this hunt, we're like planning, we're like getting dope, out to 600-800 yards, and we're like, okay, like we're good to shoot this far, we're good to go. And here we are shooting bucks at 7 and 20 yards.
7.
Yeah.
Was anything left? Was anything left of the buck you shot at 7 yards? And it just like split into 4 pieces.
Yeah. So the grass was so tall that I shot him right in the center of the throat and separated his spine right there.
Damn.
And he just folded instantly.
Yeah. Understandably.
And then it was the third buck we actually got able to record that. So that was cool.
Oh, really?
So that was the first time.
That's super cool.
Yeah, we were able to record a shot on that one, and we were so close. On the iPhone, it's awesome video.
Yeah.
And so here we are. We shot 3 bucks all within 50 yards of each other, and
Day one.
2 hours.
We're not even close to our halfway point on our float. We're not even to the boulder field where the shallow water was. We didn't think any of that through. So now the fun's over and the hell begins.
Yeah, the real story is the after part. The beginning,
it always
that's
is.
awesome.
Yeah, it always is.
We got these 3 bucks. We get them all together. We're taking awesome pictures, whatever. We're just like, man, we must be the best whitetail hunters ever. We just killed 3 bucks in the same spot, And I'm like over here thinking, man, like I thought my buck was pretty nice.
That's a good buck, man.
Anyways, I'm stoked. I'm living high as hell right now. We load the canoe that was fun, trying to figure out how to load 3 bucks in this canoe. With all
taking on water, there's too much weight.
Well, we get in
700 pounds easy in this thing.
So we get in and we push off our little spot and we go 2 feet and we're like, we're not moving. We look and we're like, this. We have like maybe 2 inches until the water's coming over, and we're like, oh man, this is going to be a challenge. And we're dragging bottom, and we're like, all right, well, in Wyoming, it's trespass. If you're on the river bottom, if you're walking the river bottom, that's trespassing. But you can, float or stay off the river bottom.
Interesting. I did not know that. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That creates issues.
Yeah, big time.
So we're both. If you can imagine this, so there's a canoe. You see 3 bucks, like sitting on top of all the meat and stuff, like the antlers or whatever, and then you got 2 dudes standing up pushing the canoe through the mud and the rocks and all this other stuff.
So you can't walk, but you can drag you can be in a canoe forcing yourself downriver.
Yeah, we were in a flotation device.
It might have been more of a gray area, but it might have been more of a gray area, but we're hoping we're on the right side anyways.
Yeah. In Wyoming now, you just bring a ladder everywhere you go. You're good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. So our pullout point, we in-reach our, my girlfriend, his fiance, and we're like, hey, we just killed 3 bucks. And
those are two different people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
The way that you said that, I was like, hold on.
My bad.
It's his fiance, but it's my girlfriend.
Oh,
no,
man.
2 different people.
Okay.
So we sent them an in-reach. Hey, just tagged out. We got $3 in the canoe. We got 12 miles until we hit the pull-out point. Like, here's our spot where we want to get pulled out. And they were like, oh, yay, nice, awesome. Because they'd never seen the river, and I don't really think they cared too much about our plans. They just thought, oh, they're just going hunting or whatever. They're fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
So his fiance goes to the pull-out point, and then we're struggling. So
yeah, no shit.
That first quarter mile took us over an hour to do a quarter mile.
Yeah, that's when we realized we were in trouble.
Oh my God, it was not easy. All your weight pushing with the paddles as push poles trying to dig out of this mud.
I think you can walk a mile in like, I don't know, 20 minutes.
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes.
So you're going like 4 times slower than someone just walking.
Yeah,
so
it was brutal.
Luckily, we had a couple sections of BLM where we were able to hop off, push the canoe like through that mile section, and then hop back in, and then have to push ourselves through this boulder field or this muck or whatever. At one point,
granted, the water was cold. It was 40-degree water.
Oh yeah, the night. So it was 50 during the day, and then at night it dropped down to like 20 degrees, maybe even into the teens, and we were freezing. We were soaked. My boots, I think we're both wearing Crispies, but we kept getting boots or water inside our waterproof boots, but then there's water inside them. So we're soaked, we're cold, we're fatigued, we're just pushing this
haven't
canoe.
eaten anything because we've just been on a high.
Diondre's still cuddling his quarter. He hasn't let go of it.
Oh, and it was just, it was so cold. And then by the time we got to anywhere that it was starting to get deep, it was dark, way after dark at this point. My fiance's been waiting at the pull-out point for hours, wondering where the heck we are.
Jeez.
And we keep hitting shallows, and then we hit a rapid, and we're trying to drift down this rapid, and the canoe just gets stuck sideways in between some rocks. And now we're stuck, wedged up against rocks.
Daniel was so pissed. That was so funny. I was upset, but Daniel was like,
that is exactly what hunting buddies are supposed to say. My friend was so angry. It was so damn funny.
I just remember
phases. At one point I was chill, and the next minute he was throwing the paddle into the shore. And
that is accurate. I will agree with that. Anyway, so we had between where we shot the deer and where our rescue was about halfway. It was about 6 miles. So we'd be, pushing, and then, like I said, we would have a section of state land we can get out and push it. And then we would have to push again, and then we'd get out and push it when we hit another piece of BLM or state. Anyway, so this last section of private was huge, and we're pushing and pushing, and then I think, was it you or me, Daniel? I can't remember. We kept seeing this light.
Oh, yeah,
right
I
off
saw the house.
So there's this bridge, this huge bridge that goes over the river, and you can tell that the river is normally way higher. But anyways, it's the road that we took to go to the first spot where we tried paddling upstream. So we see this bridge, and we're like, oh, we're at the halfway point. Spirits are getting higher, and then we're sitting there thinking like, man, that took us 6 hours to go 6 miles.
No, it was longer.
You're like, hell yeah, halfway. Shit, how long did that take?
Yeah,
that's funny.
It was. So we're like, this is not going to happen.
10:30, and it was like 10:30 at night at this point.
Yeah, we get close enough to the bridge. We see this house. Lights are on. I'm like, screw it, Daniel. I'm going to go ask the rancher.
No, that's bullshit. I said that. You were like, I don't want to get shot. You were all worried about it. So we tail off on this
Sure.
county road, and we walk a mile down this driveway to this house in the dark and knock on the door, and thankfully they were just the nicest people and willing to
Super
help,
down
and
to
they
earth.
drove us down the road to where my fiance was parked, and
They fed us first.
that was they gave us food, offered us beer. Yeah. And then,
they were very kind. We got out.
What did they feed you? It's important.
some granola bars.
Yeah,
Okay.
granola bars. Their
For
kids.
some reason, I was thinking like a stew, like they had a stew, a crock pot or something.
They
but
did say
I
they'd
bet
cook
that
us
granola
breakfast
bar was
burritos.
awesome.
They were going to cook us some burritos, but it was already awkward enough. We had to. The humility was very high at this point. It was like, man, we just failed this whole hunt. Well, we didn't fail, but we failed, our planning, our logistics.
Your extraction, yeah.
Yes. So, anyways, get help. She drives us over to to Daniel's fiance where she's at. She's freaking out. She was about to call search and rescue, I bet. Like, hey,
here we are 4 hours late.
She drives us over. We go back to the bridge where our canoe's at with all our deer and our gear and all this other stuff. And actually, the landowner's wife comes out and she's like, I'm helping you. So she comes out.
Walks
Pulls
down
out.
to the river. She starts pulling meat, starts hauling gear up to the road for us.
Man, she was way more effective than we were, I think. We were so fatigued. And then she's over here carrying 2 quarters, just hucking them over the fence and loading them into the
We had
truck.
spent now like 12 hours just soaking wet in the freezing cold.
Oh,
borderline
gosh.
hypothermic.
Yeah.
That
was
hadn't
insane.
eaten anything. That was a lapse. We should have stopped to eat it, but we thought we just needed to get out and get going.
Thought we were just a bunch of dogs. We weren't.
That's amazing. What a great story. I'm amazed that it ended. Like, I did not see it coming where you guys just like went and found a ranch to help you get out of the situation. That's
Well,
what a shitty story. And I bet it's your favorite story. This is like exactly what hunting stories are all about. Being like, hey, the worst moment of my life, and I love telling this story.
Yeah.
It was by far the most brutal hunt ever, but it is the funnest to tell.
Yeah.
And
It'll probably be one of
just-
my most memorable deer hunts I'll ever have, for sure.
Yeah. That's what I love about hunting stories, man. It's like you know the ones that like you boys are in your 20s, right? Early 30s maybe? Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, you boys are in
24.
your 20s and I'm like, I know that your grandkids are going to know this story. And I think that's what's really cool about hunting stories. It's like it's going to stick with you. You're going to tell it. Your kids are going to be like, "Oh, he's telling the story again." And your grandkids are going to be like, "I love it when he tells the story." It's just like generational. It's going to be passed down, and like this is what it's all about. And it's the miserableness and also the success.
Yep.
And it's really cool.
Yeah.
And so that's a hell of a story, boys. I've heard a lot of stories, and like this one makes me just like I'm excited to like for 50 years from now your grandkids to hear it. I just can't wait. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
I've never had one where we all 3 bucks in the same 50-yard stretch. Just crazy.
Especially whitetail. I thought they were finicky. Everyone told me they're finicky.
Well, yeah, you seem to have found. I mean, you found the one. It took a little bit of effort, but you found the ones that don't seem to run into many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was cool.
Well, congratulations on all your bucks.
Oh, thank
Diondre
you.
just kept whipping out Euro mounts during the story. Daniel, do you have your buck within arm's reach?
Oh, well, it's actually outside. I'm trying a different way to Euro mount it this year. I've actually taped up the antlers and I buried it.
Oh, I've heard about people doing that.
Yep, so I'm trying that. So it's outside buried. I do have a mule deer with me. We'll talk about this guy here in a minute, but
this was a good buck. I like those kickers.
Yeah, just dual kickers on matching side. And, that's my
well. If that's
most
the end
recent
of the
mule deer.
whitetail story, then we can jump right into that one. Unless you guys have, is there
Sounds
anything
good.
left for the whitetail?
No,
That's pretty
the
much
story.
it. We
All right,
got
cool.
picked up, and the women were a little mad at our delays, but other than that, we made through.
There you go. All right. Well, then, Daniel, why don't you move on to the mule deer story?
All righty. Well, I have got a mule deer story from this
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Tap the banner to learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Every sip of Coca-Cola brings you closer to the excitement of the FIFA World Cup 26. Because nothing compares to the joy. So grab a Coke and drink in the FIFA World Cup 26. No purchase necessary. 13 plus in 50 U.S. states and D.C. with a web-enabled device. Ends March 1st with 8 entry periods. Rules at cokeurl.com/soccer rules.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
Kind of hard. Looks bigger than he is in this picture. But awesome mainframe 4x4 with eye guards and matching kickers off each side. Just an awesome general season buck here in Wyoming. It was just a story about just being aware, because this particular spot is a very popular spot for elk hunters, and it was also rifle elk season at this time. This was middle of October up here in the northern part of the state. I'd packed in a few miles, then slept overnight. When I woke up, there were two guys walking in past me, and so I gave them a minute, followed them up, and as I'm walking, just following tracks, we just got fresh snow that morning, a good 3 inches. We're walking up here, and I'm walking tracks, and this great buck, and the tracks, really, you could tell it was a big-bodied deer. And these guys come down, you can see their tracks where they followed it for about 100 yards, and then opening at the top of the canyon, didn't see it, so they moved on. And with the snow and the weather and how windy it was, I knew he was just going to go get some dark timber and hold up. So that's what I did. I followed his tracks and knew he was going to be bedded as soon as he gets into a good spot out of the wind, and slowly picked my way, just glassing every step through this thicket. I knew he was going to be in there, and it was just there he was. And as I'm going up this hill, super steep grade, I could see him walking above me. I was able to wait, and he's actually mounted with a piece of metal here. Fortunately, when he spotted me, I could see him, he could see me, and I had about a softball size opening at his forehead, and that's what we took.
I didn't see that coming. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and
Man, you put him to
7
sleep.
mag. Yeah. I used a 7 mag, and there was no skull plate left, nothing.
Dude, each antler was 15 feet apart.
Yeah, but when I walked up to him, I thought he was just a really narrow buck at first, but it had just folded, and his antlers were just on top of each other. But it was so steep, and so the snow was so fresh.
I walk up to this deer, and as soon as I put hands on him, my feet slip out from under me, and he's coming down. And we're like on this mountainside, and we go 300 yards really fast to the bottom. And thankfully, there's a bunch of tall grass, some sage down there. And we bomb into the sage and stop. And down there, it's just a big park. So we were just up above a huge meadow. And as soon as we got to the bottom, we stopped. But it was the fastest snow slide I've ever been on.
Dude, I've had plenty of people on the podcast that have an animal sliding. Most of them let go. Daniel, like that's the commonality that you beat that today. You were like, nope, not me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hold on.
I don't think there was much thought behind it. I think I just was holding it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: do you think if you had let go, do you think you could have stopped yourself?
No.
No, you were just going, all right, fine. Then we'll give benefit of the doubt then. All right.
There were nothing to grab onto, no trees, no bushes. It was just bare snow on it.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I think I would have just landed next to him anyway.
Jeez. Whew, that's terrifying. Going down a hill with just a ball of spikes just rolling. I guess you were probably sliding, not rolling. But still, man, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I sat down. I was sitting on my butt and just holding on.
Yeah. Gosh, man. Okay. How was the pack out? Is that the end of the story? Was it a
No.
super easy pack out, or like what do we got? What's left to the story?
That was a decent bit of 2,000 vertical feet, but it was only miles. And actually had a couple buddies that they haven't really hunted, but they like kind of dipping their toes in it.
Mm-hmm.
Got the first half out that night, and it was cold. All that fresh snow, it was below freezing. So I left the second half in game bags. They wanted to come up and help. So the next day, that's what we did. I went and got them. That way they wanted to experience it.
And their first experience is just a deer skull blown to bits.
Yeah, that was quite a surprise to them.
Yeah.
Buddies, he helped me on packing out an antelope earlier in the year, and he just likes dipping his toes in. He's getting real curious about hunting, and he's like to go out on a couple pack outs and a couple scouting trips. And so we went back in. We just packed up camp, grabbed that second half of that buck, and just walked the 3 miles out. Didn't give him a too hard one, which he doesn't have a backpack, so it was just he just carried a quarter over the shoulder. And
good for him, man.
I'll say this: when Daniel sent me the picture of the buck, he sends a gripping grin, and I'm like, what's wrong with that deer?
Yeah, eyes were out, his antlers were lifted, and it's a good. Sure.
I texted him back and said, "That's a great deer, but what happened to him?"
All right. I would say send me that photo, but I don't know if I could share it with everybody. Anything I'd put it on would get blocked with that kind of grotesqueness. But dude, hey, a dead deer is a dead deer. I mean, that deer did not suffer. It just lights out.
Yeah, lights out. No meat wasted.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, cool, dude. That's crazy. I can't believe you held on to that deer 300 yards downhill. Like that is crazy. Like I don't know.
Probably should have separated, but I didn't think anything of it. There were no thoughts about it. I just said, "Oh, let's see what happens."
Yeah, as long as you keep the antlers away from yourself, it's not too dangerous. But like, I don't remember how long ago this was, but there was like a story of some hunter. He killed an elk and he tied it to the back of his ATV, and he's basically just dragging this thing out. And he hit something where the elk basically lodged itself in something, and it made his ATV rear up, and he fell off backwards and skewered himself on the elk antlers. And so, yeah, he died. So he didn't do as good as you, Daniel. But I'm always terrified of like all the crazy circumstance of all the people out there every year going out and pulling these antlers out, like putting it on your backpack. Like you could get pretty hurt with that awkward weight. But man, you're lucky that it ended up just being a fun trip. Cool. All right. Yeah. Hey, I'd rather be lucky than good any day. So cool. All right. Hey. All right. So Diondre, you're up next, man. I know you said you have a sob story. I don't know.
Well,
if this is when your girlfriend left you and became Daniel's fiance, or what we're going to talk about next, man. But yeah,
no, she wouldn't go.
Set the stage for us, brother.
Yeah. So actually, Daniel, do you want to tell your bear story at all, or should I keep that one in the back pocket for another day?
That can be another day. Tell your story.
Okay. So anyway, I'll tell an elk story from this past season. It really sucked actually, but it was a good time. So
I appreciate you guys because you guys are hitting the nail on the head with like all hunting stories. Man, it sucked, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Like that is hunting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I started Daniel moved last year from Laramie, so I've been stuck either hunting solo or I've been, looking for new hunting buddies. I got another guy here that I hunt with, but his job is just always busy. It's hard to coordinate things. So anyways, I started working at this dealership. I used to be a salesman here, and one of my buddies invited me to go hunting with him and his son. They're like, we're filling each other out, so we're more like road hunting or whatever. So we get to this ridge and we aren't seeing many elk, and it's like a good open, like desert type of elk hunting, and it's archery season. We aren't seeing any elk, so I'm just like, well, I'll just rip a bugle and see what happens. There's a bunch of canyons and stuff. We'll just see what happens. So I rip a bugle, and this drainage just opens up, just starts lighting up like crazy. You hear like 5 or 6 bugles, and we're like stoked. We're like, oh, sick. Let's go get them. And then as soon as we we're in the truck when I'm ripping this bugle, my bugle's out the window and I'm ripping this thing. And, and we weren't expecting to see anything. And then all of a sudden, it starts lighting up and we're like, oh, sick. So we start hopping out of the truck, getting ready. I know my bino harness isn't even on, so I'm throwing that on, getting the pack, getting the bow. And I'm ready to dive off into this drainage. And then as soon as we're ready to drop on into this drainage, I see this bull just sprinting down towards us from the same drainage that's ripping off. So I'm like, oh wow, like this dude's ready to go. He's ready to rumble. Let's just stay right here. Trucks literally parked like on top of this ridge, like as silhouetted as it can possibly be. And this bull is running straight to the truck. And so we just decided, hey, let's just sit up here. I mean, he's not scared of the truck. Let's just stay up here and just start cow calling like crazy. So there's 3 of us ripping cow calls, and it just sounds like a cow fest, over where we are. And this bull, like I said, is just sprinting down this mountain, and it's steep. It's crazy vertical everywhere in that area. So it's either you're going up or either going down. There's no real flat. And as he's coming down, we decided to go on the backside of our ridge that we're on top, just to kind of confuse him a little bit. And so we're all ready. All 3 of us have our bows ready to just draw and sink one in him. Yeah. As soon as he comes around the ridge and on my side, and I didn't notice him because I'm expecting him to come over the top like he did when he heard the bugles the first time. So I'm looking up, and then all of a sudden I hear like rocks falling down on my right, and there he is. And I was already dialed to. I have a 3-pin sight on my bow, so I was at 40, 50, 60, and I got a rough range, and I ranged some. I didn't range him. Whatever I ranged, I didn't range him. And I thought it was 60, and I just turned, fling an arrow, and it goes right over his back. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. So anyways, we're like, oh man, we'll find another one. We're just like throwing it up or whatever about missed opportunity. We get up, we're about to load up in the truck, and the bull's just sitting down there, just stomping his feet and acting strange. We're like, okay. And then he recognizes and he starts getting a little scared. So then I run over, and there's this cliff on this, like right below where I could see there's this cliff. And I run, I'm thinking that I could just like run up, pull up and get a shot. And he starts kind of moving. And I get on this cliff and I range him, and it's 50 yards, but it's like as if I'm 25 feet up in the tree stand and the elk's right underneath me. That's pretty much how this played out. And I sunk an arrow in him at 50 yards, hit him like top of the shoulder on the front side, and then it came out below his armpit on the back side. So I assume I single longed him, but he was hit pretty good. So we're celebrating. We're like, oh, sick. You just shot your first Wyoming bull. This is awesome. I'm like, yeah, sweet. Let's let him do his thing. Let's let him die. Like, it was a good shot. Let's just let him do his thing. Well, this area of BLM that we were on, it's a pretty large area, but we thought we were on the only part of access in this area. But little did we know, the private that was bordering it, there was a guide, an outfitter that was trying to get those bulls to come onto his thing. So he's just ripping bugles and stuff. And we're like, we thought all those bugles that we were hearing, we thought those were all elk. And there was actually this
Shit.
outfitter just like going crazy with his bugles. And I guess the bull liked mine better, or like our cow stuff better, so he came over to us. Anyway, so this outfitter starts pushing down into the drainage where my bull that I just shot just went and bedded and looked like he was about to die. Well, the outfitter pushed my bull up. He pushed him up. He went running, and he just didn't stop. He kept going. He went off field and went on to another outfitter's land. We tried calling that. I saw him go into this drainage. I sat there and watched all day. It was probably like, I shot him at 11, got up on top of the ridge that he went up over, watched him go into this one drainage on the private. I stayed there until dark, and I didn't see him get up and or like get out of there. Called the landowner. Dude didn't pick up for like 5 calls, and finally on the 6th call he answered, and he said, "Nope, not letting you on my land. I don't care if you shot a bull and he's dead on it." I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm screwed.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yep. So that's my heartbreak story.
That's tough, man. That's tough. It's especially the landowner. Like most landowner stories end in like, okay, show me where you shot him. Proof that it wasn't on my land. If you can prove it to me that you shot him off my land and he ran on my land, he's all yours. But just a guy just being like, nope, don't care. Like, screw that guy.
We were really surprised because like my buddy that I went hunting with, he's been selling cars in the area for I think he's had like 6 or 7 years, like fairly decent amount of time, and you get to know a lot of people selling cars. And he knows like most of the people in that area. And when he tried like getting people to kind of speak reason into that landowner, it wasn't working. And I guess we could have called the game warden, but we just didn't really want, like, the dude was so firm on it. And I've heard so many bad stories about game wardens and, you know, landowner interactions that we just didn't even bother.
Interesting.
Just ended up just not doing anything about it. So,
well, you know, I haven't experienced it personally, but every hunter I know that archery hunts specifically is like, or actually everyone that hunts in general, is like, you're eventually going to lose an animal. So it's just inevitable, and it's just part of what it is, and it'll change who you are as a hunter, I think, which is important, and hopefully people that hear this will like hear this story and be like, someday they're aiming at an animal and be like, that's not the best shot, maybe I should wait a second. Maybe it'll save an animal's life in the future. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But either way, it's going to happen to all of us, man. So thanks for sharing, Diondre.
It all happens, man.
Yeah, man. God, I don't want to like rub salt in the wound. But was he a good bull?
He wasn't a great. He was a little raghorn, but
okay. Get rid of him then.
My first Wyoming bull, I was pretty stoked. But you know, this next season, I got a pretty good game plan. So. Okay. Sweet. Awesome. Cool, boys. Well, man, unless you want to tell a black bear story of some kind, then let's get out of here. Your call.
That's also a heartbreak story.
No, we can't. We just can't.
We can't.
You guys started so strong. You're just throwing a bunch of bummers at me at the end. All right, but it's up to you. It's up to you. I'll listen to stories all night.
I mean, it's a good story, and it's another brutal one.
There's 2 perspectives from it. That's the only reason I brought it up. Because
there is. We were both on that one as well. That was my first ever black bear hunt. That was the spring of 24.
That was our first hunt in Wyoming, period.
Yeah.
So
together as well. So we had planned a multi-day pack trip with another buddy of ours that lives in Nebraska, back to an area, steep canyon, and look for black bears. So we get up there and we're kind of split up. Diondre got in there a few hours later. Finish work that day. So we go up one canyon, he's going up another side to get the same ridge. We spent a long time. We climbed a long ways. It's 2,500 feet and it's steep. It's super steep. And there was quite a bit of snow, and we're crawling through the snow, getting up this ridge, and we finally get close to the top, and I go, oh, there's a bear right there. 200 yards across, right there.
Huh, how about that?
And this was the first time I had ever had a scope with turrets.
Let me stop you right there. So
Okay. All right.
Like being a sniper in the Army, I learned a lot about how to use my scope and how to like dial for wind and how to dial for distance. Like I feel like I got fast tracked through rifle marksmanship as far as like the average person goes anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to teach Daniel all these things the week before this. I'm like, hey, Daniel, look at it. You can dial for wind. You can dial for elevation. It's really sick. And our elevation, has a 0 stop, but wind, it's not going to have a 0 stop because you can go left or right? So, so we went shooting, I don't know, 2 days before, and I was showing him all these things. Hey, dial for wind. It's pretty cool, man.
I see where this is going. All right, keep going.
So, anyways, I'm climbing up this ridge, like, I don't know, it's probably, so if there's fingers going down this canyon, I'm like 2 or 3 fingers off him, but I wasn't exactly sure where he was. We didn't have inReaches at the time. iPhones still didn't have the satellite messaging, so we're like, we're just like yelling across the canyon trying to find each other. I'm like yelling, Daniel! Anyways, I get up, I hear some noises like up where I'm at. I'm like, I'm going to go chase this noise. I'm going to see what it is. Turns out it's a mountain lion. It spooked it off, which was surprising. I can't believe I spooked off the mountain lion, but I was stoked that it at least ran away from me and didn't try to attack me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've never run into a mountain lion. I'd love to.
Oh, it's like the scariest thing, but it's the coolest thing at the same time. It's strange. Anyway, so I get up right where the mountain lion was, and all of a sudden I hear a bang. Well, I think Daniel's the only one in here with, our friend. I'm like, he must have shot a bear. Like, he had to shoot a bear. There's nothing else, no other tags he has. So I start yelling, like I said, Daniel! I don't hear nothing. And then all of a sudden, my phone starts ringing. I didn't even think to check my phone to see if I had service before I start yelling. So I get on my phone. It's Daniel. I'm like, yo, what's going on? He's like, I just shot a bear. I'm like, oh, sick. How far are you? He's like, I don't know. I'll try to send you the pin. I was like, okay. Never got the pin. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to get on top of the canyon and I'm just going to floor it towards where I hear the shot. I'll let Daniel take it from here.
I like how the story is like, hey, Diondre, you're like, hey, Daniel, you want to tell your bear story? And then Diondre is telling the whole story. I love it.
So, me and my buddy Peyton, he was with me. We get to the top and we see this bear. And I'm stoked. And I was like, it's right there, like 185 yards, like chip shot. I get on him. I shoot. He kind of rolls. He's hit for sure. He goes straight down the canyon. We lose him right below us. We're thinking he's down right there. About then, I realized we have service, so we call Diondre. After our phone call, probably 10 minutes later, we had been just working down the canyon, trying to get towards where we saw the bear disappear. And I can hear Diondre yelling at the top of the hill. And so he meets us down there, and right when we cross tracks. And so we found this bear's tracks with some blood in them. And then after 100 yards of tracking, my heart just sank. Or the blood turns from blood to just green stomach bile and
yeah. So how far off was your windage that you didn't reset from when you guys were at the range?
It was a full mil to the left.
God damn. I knew it, man. I knew it. I'm so sorry. It's Diondre's fault, Daniel. It's his fault, not yours.
Tell him what you did to your windage.
So, well then, yeah. I'm left, so I carry my gun on the left side of my pack, and my windage turret will rub my pack.
Oh, so it wasn't from the range. Your pack just rubbed it down?
Yeah, my pack will just rub it. And so
Okay, it was your fault, Daniel, not Diondre. Sorry, Diondre. My bad. My bad, man. It's all on
Whitetail it last year due to that same thing. And so I have actually now super glued my windage turret at 0. And I just...
There you go. You know, they Vortex Optics, one of my sponsors, they have sights that have caps that stop that from happening because it's happened to people in the past. But yeah.
But it's the Vortex Venom, and it does not have a cap.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I am going to get a Razor LHT here before fall. So that problem will no longer be a problem.
Oh, okay. Man, I could have sworn it was Diondre went so in depth into like the range shooting that I was like, oh man, you guys didn't reset.
I could have swore when Daniel started telling me more about the shot and like where it was placed and all this other things, I started piecing together, the blood and then the stomach bile, and we're following these tracks. We went down this draw almost halfway, like 3/4 of the way down into the canyon, and then we went all the way back up to the top, chasing, like following these tracks through 4 feet of snow at times, 4 or 5 feet of snow, and we're post holing through the snow, and I'm like, dude, where did you shoot this bear? Like this bear, if it's hit good, there's no way this bear's post holing like we are. Like he should be done. And then I started piecing together. I was like, Danny, you did not reset your windage, man.
Yeah, easily reset it or it rubbed. I don't know which one was which, but either way, I was full mill left, and I shot it way back in the guts.
Gosh, man, that's tough, man. I'm sorry, Daniel. That sucks. It's a funny story now, but it does suck.
Particular day,
who looked at the gun first and was like, for lack of a better term, fuck. Like who saw the windage on it being off by a whole ml?
Yeah, I think Diondre did. I think he asked me if he could look at it, and I think he noticed it.
Yeah. Damn. That's right.
And we started following these tracks, and we spent 16 hours, and we hiked well into the night before we got to where we just said, whatever, we're going to put a tent up, and then I'll start back in the morning. And the next day, it went up to like 80 degrees coming out of the 40s.
I don't know if it was 80. It was more like, it was high 60s, but not 80. But it was warm. It was for sure warm.
We went from having 3 inches of fresh snow with blood to now we have nothing but mud.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. You're not finding shit.
Daniel did find a really awesome.
Awesome
what?
Deadhead.
Deadhead. Oh,
elk deadhead. Yeah.
That's sweet. Did you pack it out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did pack it out.
Nice. Well, silver lining.
Yeah, it was. The bear went back over. He went into the south-facing side of this slope, and he just went through the wide open and disappeared into the timber. And when the sun hit that snow, his tracks were gone.
Yeah.
The entire next day, I gridded the whole side of that face. I never cut a track. I never cut another bit of blood. I never cut anything.
Yeah.
And
you can't win them all, man. You can't win them all. That's tough. It sucks. I've had situations where like my backpack like rub, because I'm right-handed, but I shoot lefty, and I've had the point where my rifle or my backpack rubs my I'm drawing a complete blank. Maybe I've had one too many beers. The slide out of my gun, and like it just everything. And I've like my round fell out, and I'm like, what the hell? So like, left-hander's curse, man. I didn't shoot anything, but that's because I'm a terrible hunter, and that has nothing to do with you. But it happens, man. It happens. So, well, cool. I'm glad. Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully, someone learned a little bit from that, and now knows to buy a scope with some caps on it, or super glue their scope without caps. It's
or just really be really good, full adrenaline and everything. Really good at checking.
Yeah, cool, man. All right, well, boys, I got more stories out of you than I expected. They were all wonderful, and I appreciate you guys for reaching out and coming on and sharing your stories. This was a lot of fun. I can still I think my traps are sore from your story about the canoe. Like it hurts just pushing through that muck. So let's do this. Do you guys have anything you want to share? Any socials or whatnot where you want the people to maybe come find you?
Yeah, Go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead.
Yeah, I post a lot on Instagram right now. Right now it's Daniel_Christensen.
Okay. Easy enough.
I got I got a Instagram as well. It is Silent Basins.
Okay.
At Silent Basins. So
Cool. And I will
rock
put both of those in the show notes, and I encourage my followers to follow you guys. If nothing else, some fun float trip stories, hopefully in the future.
Oh yeah, we got a pretty awesome spring bear trip. Daniel's bachelor party. We're doing a spring bear trip. So
no shit. First off, congratulations,
awesome.
Daniel, on being engaged. Where are you guys hunting? Wyoming, or do you got someplace else in mind?
Yep, Wyoming.
Nice. That's a hell of a bachelor party. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. I think we're planning 6 days right now in the backcountry.
Hell yeah. Well, keep me in the loop. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Cool. All right, boys. Well, thanks again for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your stories. I think you hit the nail on the head. I said it already, but your stories are exactly what I'm hoping for. Stories that I know that you'll tell for generations, and maybe even when you guys are gone, your kids or your grandkids will tell the stories about you guys doing stupid stuff in a canoe. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for the experience.
Yeah, of course, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, folks, that's it. Another couple stories in the books. Again, thank you to Daniel. Thank you to Diondre coming on the podcast, being brave, sharing their stories. If you have some stories you want to share, please do hit me up. I would love to have you on with your hunting buddy, go bullshit on each other, whatever it is. I just appreciate anyone who reaches out and wants to share with me and with my guests. Beyond that, guys, please check out their Instagrams, give them a follow. Like I mentioned earlier at the beginning, I am part of Killshot Coffee. If you are looking for some great beans, check out the link in the show notes. It's on my Instagram page. Go Ruck as well, Vortex as well. Support all of those folks to help support the podcast. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much. Now get out there and make some stories of your own.